The views and opinions expressed by the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC, are those of the podcasters and do not necessarily reflect the official policy, position, ideologies, or standards of any school district in any county in the United States. Any content provided by our podcasters, guests, and callers are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, institutions affiliated with the local government, individuals, or anyone or anything. The podcasts and all affiliated with the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC are used for entertainment purposes only. Last week on the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
Critically think by the time you leave Miss J. Carter's class.
Yes.
Because you need to be able to critically think as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
That is something.
If something left something in another class and their parent was like, just go get it. The teacher won't let you just go get it. And then and that scenario happened. We had a drill. So now you gone.
Have said,
Mhm.
so they're not doing it.
Yep.
My mom said I don't have to do experiments. Like, well,
Yep. Okay, but I think that goes
tell the truth.
The
'Cause
truth.
Some of y'all be leaving stuff out. Got
Yep.
to find it throughout the year. And welcome back to our podcast. We are talking about parents' wish list. Things that we wish parents knew before they send their kids to school. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I'll do the next one. Go to board meetings. Please go. Just go to the board meeting.
I didn't go to any, but okay.
I didn't. I have not. But I think that I have watched.
But I've seen them.
I've seen them too.
And I
want more of us to go.
I
exactly.
do too.
I was gonna say I really, I think for me, I didn't have the knowledge of board meetings. I think if I was, more knowledgeable of board meetings, I know they send an email out or what have you as a parent, but I guess I didn't at that time know the importance, and I did want to, to go. Maybe I was, I'm gonna go, but it didn't happen. Of course, I was a single mother with probably 4 jobs at the time,
Right.
But again, we can't make excuses. We we gotta make room for those things. But as a parent, that's something that I wish I could have attended.
They're open to all community members. So you do not have to be a parent. You do not have to be a teacher. You don't even have to be a business owner. If you live in that district, then the education of those students it impacts you, right? How they're taught, the environment they're taught in, all of it is impactful, and you have a voice. So if you are a business owner and you know that eventually these kids are going to be old enough to work, right? And they're going to work in the community that they're learning in. You might want finances or some sort of business acumen to be part of their curriculum or part of what they're learning. Or you might want behavior to be better handled because maybe your business is closer to school and you're seeing an increase in petty theft or something.
Sense.
Yeah. So you have to but if you're not in the room, you can't speak in the room.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I challenge us to go to one before this year's out.
Deal.
Absolutely.
We should go. I love
I'm
it.
down for it.
Okay.
We should. I love it.
All right. Number 10, being advocate for your student.
Yes. I think that's your parent. As a parent, you're the first advocate for them.
I'm always an advocate.
For everybody.
I'm always an advocate for my student.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the first advocate as a teacher. I'm that teacher.
Yeah.
And I tell my students, do what you're supposed to do at that time. It's I don't want to compare it to police brutality, what's going on, but the parents now are always teaching their young men comply, do what it takes for you to get home, right? So I tell my students that do what it takes for you to get back to me and tell me what happened, and then I can go out and fight for you.
Yes.
But I cannot fight for you if you already showed out
and turned up in the hallway.
We can't come from that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
Do what you're supposed to do and get back to me, and then we can fix it.
That's right.
We can do our best to fix it in the end, but we can't fix disrespect.
Nope.
I
love that. I like that. You're right. Do what you got to do to get back to me. And I think Yeah, I think you explained that one really well. You got to advocate. I think parents need to learn to advocate for you need to learn to advocate for your student about all things.
Well, there's some teachers that don't have a relationship with certain students, and they may be like, oh, this person is acting out and blah, 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 but they don't know that that student have some other issues that they're going through, and this is why things may be happening because they don't have a relationship with that student.
Well, I mean, I have a good story, the short story that happened to me where was my first year at our school, and had a student that typically showed out. She typically would show out. However,
at your school,
well, a school. Anyways, but this was a good scenario. It ended up good.
Okay, good.
Student, yeah, it's not bad.
Okay,
but she had behavioral challenges. However, something took place, and I assumed it was her.
Oh, okay.
I assumed it was the student because it was along the same lines of other behaviors, right? And she was in the mix, so I assumed it was her. And so something told me to just ask her, right? We weren't super close as far as us having a good relationship. We weren't super close, but I had a good enough relationship to speak to her. And she really, when I said that I thought it was her, that she had caused this problem, whatever, she was so upset, like passionately upset and adamant that it was not her. And I was like, that part was not typical. Normally, if she had done it, she would kind of just be like a sense of pride, like, yeah, but But I knew that.
Yeah.
So I cornered her in the cafeteria, and I said, can you tell me what happened? And she told me all this stuff, and I said, this wasn't caused by you, and I apologized to her, and I said, I want you to understand, I'm apologizing to you for me because I made an assumption I was wrong. That's one. And I said, number two, no one should ever be above apologizing to you. And she told me that was the first time any adult had ever apologized to her.
And see, that's the thing. Like, if you do something, and I know this is probably, but just to piggyback off of what you're saying, if you're a teacher and you do something that's kind of for example, I have a student. I have a current student who he was doing something, and I was very stern with him. And he knew he wasn't supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the behavior was off the wall.
Okay.
Right? After class, I made sure that I took him to the side and I said, do you understand why I told you what I told you? And I do this with all of my students.
Right.
So that they can understand that I am not some monster in their mind, okay? Although the way that I disciplined him about the situation was appropriate. But I had to let him understand, like, hey, I just need for you to do this, and this. This is why I said this. Because the thing that you don't ever want a child to do is to leave your presence, keeping that memory in their mind. And they take it with them forever and ever. And then maybe they're, afraid, or maybe they feel like, you were mean to them, you hurt their feelings. I said, I apologize. Although he was doing something crazy, I literally apologized to him because I love my students, and we all love our students, and we want them to be the best that they can be in society. So
yes, but I think that those moments, they teach them so much, right? It teaches our kids about what they should expect from others, and that but it also gives them permission to give themselves room to grow up and to learn these better positive behaviors,
right,
and to not put themselves in those situations again. Because that same student that I apologized to, literally, she never showed out in my class again. Never.
Because if they know you'll go to bat for them, they're gonna respect you for that. But like I tell, I have told all my students, present and past, you have to earn respect. If you do something and that's disrespectful, you're gonna lose my respect, another teacher's respect.
Yes.
You just don't get to, have my respect and don't do the right thing. Right. So 11, communicate.
Please communicate. I feel like that's what it is, right? Talk to us. Keep the door open. Do not. That's what it is, right? All of those things. I feel like.
Don't wait to the last minute. like Jordan had said before, if Timmy got a 10, semester ends in December. Don't wait till December the 2nd.
Not December the 2nd. You're right.
To email and ask me what Timmy can do to increase his grade.
You're right. Absolutely.
Run it back.
It's too late.
Yep.
And I think it puts undue pressure on your student as well when you don't say anything. So speak up, because they are also still kids. They are kids themselves, so they're not going to get that part right. They just need you to support them. We are not ignoring you. We have a lot to do and promise to respond to you.
Right.
How do you feel about it?
I think the rule of thumb is getting back with the parent between 24 and 48 hours for most schools.
Yeah.
But I think teachers really, really do try their best, but it is a lot going on. But there's no excuse for us to never respond to you. Know that we're responding, but I've always tried to communicate with a parent within a 24-hour time frame.
Agreed. I think they just have to sometimes give us a little grace, because there's a lot going on. You don't know if there was a fire drill that day. You don't know what if somebody showed out that day. You don't know if we're just having a bad day.
Right.
And I'm not saying that those are, we don't want to make excuses if we don't get back to you in a timely manner, but we also want you to understand, like, there's one of us and lots of students and lots of things going on at any given point in time. Plus, we're meeting during our planning, and we have, we are working during our contracted hours. So if there's an expectation of, outside of contract hours, communicate. If you send me an email at 2 a.m., not reading it at 2 a.m. I got it basically at 8 a.m. the next day,
Right.
not that same day.
All right, what number are we on?
13.
Okay. We want your students to be successful as well.
Absolutely.
100%. I don't think there's anything to say to that. We want that.
From the beginning of the school year, I send that communication home and let parents know we are a partnership.
Yes.
It takes all of us. It takes a village to get that student, to help that student be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
14. How your child acts at home may not be how he or she acts at school. And we already touched on that.
We did, but let's be real specific.
I don't know.
How you act, if they just because they nice and sweet and they don't do nothing at home, they have different influences at school, and they have the rules at school don't always match the rules at home.
Yeah, and then they're at that age where they are trying to get the approval of their peers.
Yeah.
So how they may act at home, they may be like, hey, I'm trying to
I
get
think what
somebody
we're
to like me.
yes.
I think they act exactly.
You think so?
Maybe, right? But I feel like it's more like, don't be shocked as a parent, right? Because, like, I remember me when I was in middle school, like, my mother had an issue with the low-rise pants were high when I was in school. And my mother would not buy them for me. So I had a friend that wore the same size, and so she would roll up a pair in her book bag and bring them to school, and I would go to school and change my clothes.
Wow.
So just so I could wear the cute pants my mom went by. So did my mom know that for a while? But did she find out? Yeah, because she showed up. But I think you have to know your child, and you need to be open to the fact that your child might have cussed in the hallway. Just because you ain't never heard them cussing does not mean that they are not.
Cuss.
They cuss.
They gonna curse
like a sailor,
and we have to catch it and say, hey, young man, young Miss Ma'am, you don't talk like that.
They coming. They might leave your jeans, but they had on leggings, and they took them jeans off once they got off the
I
bus.
cannot deny any of this. I never forget my mom was at work. Came in the house.
Here we go.
Nice little language on me. She was in the room.
Oh, Ty.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I've caught my own son. I heard
Lord
one time.
have mercy.
I heard one time.
What did she do? Okay. All right.
At first, she was like, oh.
Oh, really?
As a parent, I experienced that as well.
Yeah. I remember, like, my baby
I
was
heard my
like,
child curse.
Oh,
really? So I knew my oldest, but my youngest, I remember it was like the end of the school year. He was getting off the bus, and I guess he was mad, and he didn't expect me to be home. And I was home, and he got off the bus, and he middle fingers in the air at the bus as it's driving by, and I was like, for real? Like, who is that? And he turned around and he was like, hey, Mom.
Yeah. Well, all my crazy experiences, at least my child waited till she got to high school. And then I was shocked for me because you know, the way, you know, for her to arrive this late in life and start doing, because, you know, her senior year, she
turned to that.
Truly was a senior.
17, because we already touched on 15.
Yeah, we talked about parent conferences.
We did. Got a whole episode on that.
Check the parent. Check the parent portal and grade book regularly.
Yep. Check the book bags. I started cleaning out my kids' book bag myself.
Lockers.
Lockers too.
Check the lockers.
Come
check
to the school, check lockers, book bags.
I didn't check lockers.
But my mom used to come. No, my mom did do that. She used to come to the school and they would check the lockers.
I've seen parents check lockers.
Oh yeah, I done had my locker checked.
Oh yeah, you can check lockers.
I done got plenty of.
Put a reminder on your phone, like I do my, you know, even though my credit cards aren't automatically come out my account. Put a reminder on your phone to check in with your teacher, maybe every 2 weeks.
Yeah, just send a hey. If you need
email.
anything, let me know. Just anything.
Just, you know, to put you on schedule.
Yeah.
Keeping up with that. I think that would be really helpful for a parent.
It would, yeah. And I think also letting us know, like, best way to communicate is also good. Like, how do you want to get your grades? Because I've had parents that just send me an email with the number in it. You know, like, what is the grade? But yeah, I mean, they just want, that's all they want to know, you know.
Or have where the schools can have a night with parents, because some parents, you know, not every child is at home with their biological parents. We're at home with grandparents. We're at home with older aunts. Have a night where they can come in, because we actually did this at a school that I taught. We actually had, you know, for parents that voiced their opinion, they didn't know how to maneuver through the system.
Yeah.
They were able to come in and be taught and trained.
That's awesome.
And how to maneuver through the system.
I really like that.
Yeah. Dang. I feel so underprivileged right now. Like, I love that idea.
17. Learning does not stop and start at home, school.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely not.
I cannot stress this enough. Parents, if you can, take your kids to the bookstore, to the library. Maybe if there's a local community garden where they can learn how to garden, you know, something. The educational school system is not, depending on how you're educated, it doesn't always give kids the things that they need in life to be successful. Which is why you have teachers like us that have to fill in the gaps. But the curriculum at its core is outdated. And it doesn't really show kids how to be productive adults.
It's not intended to.
It's not intended to. No, because there's so many different things that kids need to be learning. Whether it's crypto,
on what it's for, but
real estate, how to balance a checkbook, how to speak to someone when they're purchasing something, and it doesn't have to be any type of small class that you go to because you have some type of behavioral issue. It's just every student should have that.
Yes, and I think it needs to be current. But to your point, like you said, like right now, crypto is a hot thing, and social media is a hot thing.
Coding is something kids.
Like they can build apps. So like I remember a couple of years ago, I had some kids that wanted to do that. We wanted to build an application, and I was like, okay, great. Cool. And the thing about it was, they had a great idea, and we tried to do it, but those types of classes are not hard to teach. Like teaching kids how to code if they're interested, but we always look at them as being like a club thing.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be a club, because like even like I bring up social media because a lot of time there's things that's how they get it going, right? But social media marketing right now is a hot career. Kids know each other. Kids right now, how much math and analytics arts is into people.
Right. Self-sufficient. Everyone's not going to be an entrepreneur. I think I said that. Correct. Options. You know, certain schools have what do you call it? And, you know, some kids are not going to go to college.
They do that in other countries where you have a pathway.
They need to be hands-on. Like, if you want to be a mechanic, a hairstylist, you need to be going down that direction.
And social media is not the only piece that they should be reading. Like your child, take them to the library, take them to Barnes and Noble, take them somewhere where they have access to books, because books will take you, and I know it's cliche, but it will take you
everywhere,
all around the world, and they can be well rounded to get in these different rooms. If they haven't been to this place, they read it in the book, and they know how to maneuver themselves, like I said, in these different areas of life. So just don't let them.
It's all about exposure. So when I was in middle school, we had a language class. I know language is, I guess, still doing languages.
If they can, you can find somebody to teach it.
We're talking about different languages.
Yeah, like in the classroom.
And like there are some schools that do it, but in high school you have to take semesters. That's it.
About exposing kids to different languages. So when I was in middle school, I took a French class, and I had a really good French teacher.
And you still speak it. Yeah, so that's so. But you think it was because of that? Because
absolutely.
Because I took a Spanish. I mean, I only know a few words, but we did have Spanish. And
I love Spanish. Try not to ignore teacher emails.
Right.
Just that's it. Don't ignore it.
I've never had that experience. I think I over communicate, or parents over communicate. Like if I send something, they're going to send something back. I've never had a parent ignore. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but
I've seen parents act like they blank.
Yes, some
act like they don't see it.
You sent it.
When that grade come out,
that's the first time they seen you. Don't even know who you are. I've had parents. Who are you again? Your child's teacher. What? We've been in school 9 months.
Remember, when they roll up to the meeting, and you got to receipt. Remember that I communicated this with you.
That's part of that prepping for the parent-teacher conferences.
It's like building a case. Like, why am I doing this like I'm a lawyer? Like, I don't want to do that.
I really had to do that.
Oh my God, you have the folder and you got to pull out. I don't want to do that. Like, this is not what this is supposed to be about.
Yeah, you have to do it sometime.
19.
Do not wait till the last minute to be proactive for low grades. Yep, we did. Build a relationship with your students' teachers. I think that's the whole point of all of it, is having a good relationship with your child's teacher. It helps your student to have an advantage, I think, in class.
Some people have really good relationships with their students' parent. I mean, really good relationships.
Yes, they do.
So,
I feel like that was.
I'm just saying, just in general.
Say it again.
I said some parents have some teachers have really good relationships with their students' teacher, their child's parent. Yeah.
I do. I have a lot of. I still. I email. My students.
I'm not like that. No. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what.
Yeah, you gonna clear that up?
No. That's not what I'm.
We have really good.
We do.
Really good relationships. We have, if there's a barbecue, if there's something going on.
Oh yeah, birthday parties, all kinds of stuff.
I went to one of my if there's a birthday party, I'm always invited. I'm going to show. We just did last year. We did spring break together.
That is really awesome.
It was really great.
I did. I go to football games, the basketball games. We just all the games. We still can't let them go.
Sitting in the rain. Well, at least I was sitting in the rain and
we going
watching the show. Go! Such and such.
You did a good job. You know what's going on. But we there though. Yeah, they do.
Right.
And I think
the students love it. They're like, oh my God, you came to my game.
Oh my God.
Yes, I was there.
That is bragging rights.
Like a celebrity.
All right, y'all.
All right.
But that's producer. You can find us at all handles at Real Teachers of Atlanta. Please make sure you like and subscribe, even if you don't like. Just, hey, you never know. That one little like, it could come back to you and bless you.
All of it.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Is there anything else?
That's it.
I think that's it.
No. Bye.
All right, bye.